15.
2015 Kia Sportage?
2015 Kia Sportage here. We got a couple dents on the lower side of this body line here. There's actually a brace running through here as I marked. So I'm gonna run a whale tail. It's a blue whale tail from Dent Craft. Slightly bent outwards to get to the door and then flatten back out.
Okay, first things first, Casper's not too good with colors. That is a purple whale tail. And this is what I like to call the door bend on these whale tails. It's a real slight S-curve, and that's going to get you around the top bracing that's in most doors, and then bend back so you can reach the bottom bracing much easier. That's a pro tip. Take it, use it, it's yours.
The other way to get in that brace. We've got a long way to go here, 4 or 5 inches, so let's get after it.
Okay, so whale tails work in an altogether different fashion than most of your PDR tools will. So if we imagine this is the bracing that is behind that panel right here. And if we x-ray inside that panel, this is what's going to look like. The brace being on the left, the skin of the door being on the right. These whale tails will get in there and you're going to twist suchly, basically leveraging off of the brace in order to exert pressure onto the skin of the door. Make sense? Good. What you're going to find when you first start using whale tails is it is very hard for you to be accurate. You have extra tension on the tool because it is such a tight squeeze in there, and just overall, you're going to miss a lot. Hey, that's okay, don't worry about it. What you will also discover is that when you're using it correctly, you're going to have direct pressure at all times. So there will come a point where you are more comfortable with the accuracy of this tool, and you will actually learn to enjoy it some because you're not fighting for leverage. And just like everything in PDR, this can be a slow process. There are some good substitute tools. The Excaliburs, for instance, are excellent as a substitute for whale tails in a lot of situations.
So as you can see, I've created a couple high spots. Looks like a bit of a mess. It is not an issue though. Give me a minute with the knockdown and we'll get it back making sense.
When Casper says this looks like a bit of a mess, what he means is there's just a lot going on. Now, in these situations, I always recommend that you back up. Back up, make it smooth, get it to that one event that I talk about really often. It's going to be easier for your brain to process, and it's going to become much more clear what's actually going on this panel. It's worth mentioning that he is using the Hog's Tooth from Dent Tools. It's a great beginner knockdown.
That's so difficult.
We're working through about 6 inches of brace with a pretty short whale tail or small whale tail there. Don't want to get much bigger than that. You're not going to be able to get through all that brace. So this is about all we got. It's just pretty tight in there. And the accuracy with a whale tail is just a little different than if you're using a regular door tool. These would have been done a long time ago, probably without a knockdown.
Excuse us, Casper. That's what those are. So, all right, so it is a little bit difficult to hit exactly what you're aiming at when you first start out with this whale tail. Now, it is a tight squeeze, but look at your whale tails. These are from Dent Craft. That's where I buy all of my whale tails. There's a flat side and a round side. Try to put the flat side against the panel, and it'll make it seem not so difficult to squeeze it in there. Okay, so Casper says words here, they're not that important because they're not that smart. So here is your set. Ready? Dent Craft, go. You need the orange, the purple and gray, the blue and gray, the red, what else? The red and gray from Dent Craft, and if you can get it, the teal 1 inch. That's your entire set. That's what I use 99.9% of the time.
Pee-wee, I think that's what they call it. Or the silencer? I don't know. Just a little finer. It's a mushroom tip.
Damn it, Casper. Yes, that's the Pee-wee from Dent Tools. That is a precision, not a mushroom tip, Casper. And that is going to be used mostly for cleanup work. Woody causes my buddies to take this with a grain of salt, but let me do tell you that these tips are the most badass knockdown tips on the market. I actually use a silencer, which is the widest one, as a blending tip a lot of times. So Casper's going to put a wet sand on this. So in Casper's defense, there was like 6 inches of brace that he was working through on this dent. So a little cleanup work on a small dent like this makes sense in that kind of scenario. Obviously, you want to pick this up as clean as possible the first time. But the results, they speak for themselves. Excellent work, Casper. Good job. Remember, if you're not a member already, realworldpdr.com is the place to find the best damn online PDR tutorials on the internet. Also, if you are looking for one-on-one in-person training, hit up Jim at JM Dent Repair. You're going to get a hold of me and we can talk about what it is that you need. There's no cookie cutter bullshit here. We will customize a training plan specific to your needs, your skill set, and we have worked some real damn miracles around these parts. So remember, that's realworldpdr.com and Jim at jmdentrepair.com for in-person training. Thank you so much for your support now and in the future, and I will see you on the next one.